Hey guys, Big T here, and we're going to look at the game files again. What they did in the last update, I think they caught on to what we were doing when we were pulling out the models of the upcoming characters. Because what they did was they, 1 sec, I'm just going to grab some water here so I don't dry out too bad. I think they caught on to what we were doing because they pulled out all of the upcoming character models, at least the unreleased ones. There are a few unreleased models left in that we already covered that that are in there because they're due to be released most likely before the next update. Somebody in the Alliance was saying, well, there was a discussion about who would be the next character. And actually, if you're in our Alliance, look me up on Facebook. It's just look up Big T and Travis McKenzie, and you'll find my Big T account, and do a friend request, and then we'll get you into the Facebook Messenger group that I set up for the Alliance. It's been way easier to talk to the other guys. We had a good discussion on who's coming out, and like for example, I think one of the guys mentioned the new Spider-Man. I can't remember. I have to look. They mentioned one of the models that were pulled from the game file, and I told them unless they come out with a new update before the next character, we won't see that character because the data isn't in the file. So they asked me what character it might be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple different ways in the game files to tell which character it'll be. There's 3 things that I would look at. One would be the portrait, and that's the screen I'm on now. Another would be the gacha prize graphic. That's the picture of the character that they put into the event. If there's a picture of the character in that gacha file, then they've got the data there to create the little graphic for the event. And the other one I would look at is there's one that I've been looking at that I'll look at that last is crystals. What you might have noticed new with particularly with the rocket character event, when that arena came out, they also came out with a crystal at the same time. Well, in the game files, there's a lot of character specific crystals, and we'll look at them too. So let's go down our list of portraits. Of course, we have the existing guys. We've got all of the adaptoids. We've got a portrait of the collector. That we'll see in the gacha files. And of course, Daredevil, Doctor Strange. We've got a portrait of Kang. Actually, 2 of Kang. One's neutral and one's Kang. I think one would probably be the portrait that you're fighting, and one would be the portrait that if he becomes a available character. Luke Cage's portrait is in there. Magneto's, Miss Marvel, which she was replaced by Captain Marvel, but the Miss Marvel version is still in there. Thanos is in there, but he's on the Thanos. Because you can fight Thanos, that portrait might not mean anything. Ultron is in there. So that's the portraits. The next thing we're going to look at is we will look at the gotcha feature. They call it it's a folder in the gotcha folder called featured, and then of course the files are called chase prize. If I looked, there'd probably be, I found out why they used gotcha. There might be a reason they're using chase in there, probably related to that gotcha system again. And so we see the interesting one that I noticed was we see the collector in the prize files. So they may have just thrown him in there for I don't know what reason, but the graphic is there ready to be used as an arena prize. So collector might be a playable character coming up. There's our Unstoppable. He's out already. There's our Daredevil. So he's got a prize graphic. So he might even be the next unreleased character coming. He's all the stuff is there for him. Doctor Strange, all the stuff is there for him, so he could be next. And then of course there's prize graphics for every character, so they're probably eventually planning on having all the characters come out as an arena. So we might not see a new character this next time. It might be like the Spider-Man. We might just see another existing character that we haven't seen yet. Of course, these guys are all out already. Magneto, he's unreleased. He's in there. Miss Marvel, she was out in the beta and the pre-release, and then they changed her to Captain Marvel. So we might see Miss Marvel yet come out. Which I kind of prefer the looks of Miss Marvel over the Captain Marvel. I never did really like that mohawk look that they gave her. There's a Rocket. And I don't know why they put two different. They put a Rocket and a Rocket Raccoon. I guess maybe because they weren't sure what they were going to call him when it came out. And then there's another interesting one. They have a prize graphic for the Adaptoid. So maybe we might have a playable Adaptoid coming up, which would be kind of cool if maybe each time you went in it randomized what you were playing. The one that's shown in the graphic is the tech, which would be disappointing because we've got so many tech characters already. If they were going to put an Adaptoid of a certain variety, they could have picked a different one. But like I said, the cool thing would be for that to change every time you used it, or to be selectable. That's it. So those are the guys that the prize graphics are there. So if you're wondering arena-wise, there's your choices. I don't think there would be an arena for any of the guys without having the prize graphic there. So that's that. Now let's get over to the most interesting one that I found was the crystals. Now we have Alliance crystal, of course, that's out. The Avengers crystal, we've seen that. There's a Black Widow crystal. So we don't have a Black Widow prize graphic, but we have a Black Widow crystal. So it might just be that they have the crystals. They didn't pull the crystals out of the game files that are upcoming, but we could see a Black Widow without an arena event. Daily crystal, cosmic crystal, common. Doctor Strange crystal, that's a really cool looking crystal. See, that's that one tells me that Doctor Strange could be one of the next guys because they could release that crystal at the same time like they did the Rocket crystal. an electro crystal, epic crystal. I don't know if they've used that graphic yet or not, but that's I don't know what an epic crystal would be. And then of course they got generic crystals, so they could basically pick any of these crystals and the colored crystals and match them up to a color of a character. So like they could use this this red generic crystal as like a daredevil crystal because it's red and black. So the named crystals might not mean that it's not coming. See, like there's a generic crystal that looks almost like the rocket crystal, close to it anyways. It's kind of got a riveted metal look to it. Generic. There's an Iron Man crystal, Guardians crystal. So they'll probably have maybe when maybe if they do a Star-Lord event, maybe they'll have a Guardians crystal, kind of like they did with the Avengers. There's an ISO 8 crystal. I don't know if we've seen that one yet. Magic has got a crystal. Lottery crystal. Not that looks like the tier 2 crystal. Legendary crystal. I don't know if we've seen that yet. Magneto, he's got a crystal, kind of a purple and red. We got major event crystal. Miss Marvel's got a crystal. So that tells me that the Captain Marvel, the pre-Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel version might become making a comeback. Mutant crystal. So there's rare crystal, quest crystal, premium crystal, mystic crystal, rare. There's the rocket crystal. Science, skill. So we've got a lot of class-specific crystals in here too, which we saw with which one did we have? We had the mystic one already. Ultron has got a crystal. That's kind of a cool looking one. Metal with the red built into it. Thor's got a crystal. Superior Iron Man. Urgent event. I don't know what that urgent character. I don't know what that's referring to. That might be those look like the limited pop-up when you get the tier 4 pop-up or the tier 3 pop-up. That's probably what that urgent is. It's the ones that pop up and you have an hour to buy them. X-Men crystal, again probably along the same lines of the Avengers. They'll have a crystal with all just the X-Men in it. Then we've got some hologram crystals. Those might just be the graphic that they use when you do the spin. Promo crystal, blue and black. Blue, red. See, these are the just the different colored crystals. Green, purple. So they could have like they didn't have a Hulk crystal, but green and purple. Hulk colors. There's your Hulk crystal. They could probably just attach that to whoever they want. Red, purple, red, blue. Red, blue would be like a Spider-Man. So there's all the different crystals. Like I say, it's some of this stuff might just be in there. It's stuff that they've designed, and they may just have it in there for possible use. But I would say I would look, if you saw all three things, like with Daredevil, we see Daredevil portrait, we see Daredevil prize, and did we have a Daredevil crystal? No Daredevil crystal, but Doctor Strange. That there you've got all three. It could be Doctor Strange. We've got the crystal, we've got the portrait, we've got the graphic. Also Magneto has got all three. Daredevil, like, I guess it could be Daredevil because, like I say, they've got this generic crystal, or if you go down here, we probably have a red and black one in there too somewhere. So yeah, but it definitely won't be. It won't be the. It probably won't be like we have a Black Widow crystal. Probably won't be Black Widow because she doesn't even have a portrait. Yeah, or it's going to be a guy that we already have. They've got a lot of arenas that they haven't run for characters that we already have existing in the game. But yeah, I looked around too, and they've cleaned up most of the stuff that we were pulling out of there. Like, we were finding a lot of goodies in there and releasing them online. I don't think they liked that too much because they went through and they cleaned it all out. So this is kind of a nice find. And then when the next update comes out, I'll do the same. I'll poke through, and if we see like the Morales Spider-Man, if there's a crystal and a graphic put back in, then you can kind of say, okay, yeah, we'll probably see him between now and the next update. But yeah, there you go. Like I say, it is what it is. We won't see some of them other fancy guys that they pulled out because they're just not in there anymore. Even the models aren't. So I'll keep up on it, and if there's any changes, we see an update, I'll do another updated video. And let me know what you think. If you have any guesses on who's coming up, let me know. Alliance members, get into our Facebook, friend me, and get into that chat, because I think that's gonna be a good way to converse with each other. Because even when you're like when you go into your verses, the chat bar at the bottom disappears on you. With this, if somebody messages through text, Facebook Messenger, if you've got the app, it pops up at the bar on the top of your screen, and you're talking. So I think that's going to work out good. But there you go. Hit like if you like the video, dislike if you don't, and we'll see you on the next one.